Good evening, everybody. I'm Supunya Lahirani. I'm in grade 7. Today I'm going to discuss with you about civics, second unit, our society. Today I hope to talk about part 2 of this lesson. Okay, our first topic is rights available in society. Okay, rights are the privileges given to a person by the human society. They are important to make life satisfied. Their rights provide man an opportunity to spend a good and dignified life. Okay, basic features of rights. They are free from selfishness, restricted, closely related to common well-being of the society, inherited from the society itself, and closely related to duties. Okay, these are the features of rights. Okay, next we are going to talk about rights entitled to a person. There are two types of rights. They are civil rights and political rights. Civil rights are right to live, right to education, right to expression, right to an employment, equality, right to live in a place of preference, and in political rights, rights to be an elector, right to be an candidate, and joining any political party, electing any government, and citizen the government. Okay, next we are going to talk about duties related to rights. You are entitled to several rights as a member of a society. All those are given to you for the benefits of the society. So therefore, it is important to fulfill your duties before enjoying rights. The bond of the citizen to fulfill duties entrusted for the existence of a society is known as a duty. Therefore, you are bound to fulfill the duties you are entered with. Okay. So rights are education, following in religion, expressing views, and living. Duties are learning well, not harassing other religions, talking without hurting others, and living without bothering others. Okay, now we are going to talk about importance of enjoying rights within a legal framework. Any society should focus special attention on fulfilling duties while enjoying the rights. When everyone enjoys rights in an excellent manner, a good society emerges, ensuring personal rights and freedom of every person, fulfilling the needs of people and developing interpersonal relations will possibly build up good lifestyle, and emergence of a civilized society will be the final outcome of it. Okay. Now we are going to talk about qualities to be improved to live as a good citizen in society. Man is a great treasure. For a man to be a great treasure, there should be perfect human qualities in him. Man should love his fellow men in the society while extending the same affecting to animals and environment. It will create a good human in society. Some of the great human qualities man should develop are okay. Now we are going to talk about rights of professionals. Article 23 of Universal Charter on Human Rights has given every individual the right to work, right to choose one's occupation freely, right to enjoy reasonable facilities while working, and to ensure job security. Accordingly, several rules and regulations have been introduced to safeguard rights of servants in public as well as in private sectors. So they are safeguarding the rights of people through the constitution. Several provisions such as labor laws, employees provident fund, windows and open pension, insurance to statements and human rights commission and establishment code have been introduced to safeguard the rights of professionals. Okay, now we are going to talk about disadvantages of not practicing employees' laws correctly. They are exploitation of labor, dissatisfaction of employees not getting a reasonable salary, loss of job security, being helpless after the retirement, and injustice caused to workers, being subjected to influence of employers, accident and diseases caused by insecurity. Okay, now we are going to talk about an important topic, that is preventing exploitation of child labor. According to Shop and Office Employers Act made against exploitation of child labor, children below the age of 14 cannot be employed. If such children are employed, it can be prevented by informing the Commissioner of Labor. Since education is compulsory in Sri Lanka, every child under the age of 14 should attend to school. Children are employed mainly due to economic problems in families, helplessness of children, and ignorance of parents, influences of some peoples and traditional occupations. Okay, now we are going to talk about impact of employing children as laborers. They are falling ill as physical and mental strength weaken, and exploitation of labor, subject to abuse, losing opportunities for learning, losing the pleasant childhood against in antisocial activities, addiction to intoxicated drugs, and subjected to harassment, getting mental and physical disorders. Okay, now we are going to talk about social responsibilities on child labor. They are treating all children as our own children, directing them to a school for compulsory education, not employing children for narrow expectations, making the relevant institutions aware of children labors, and adults not depending on children. Okay, now we are going to talk about retirement of servant. All the employees in both public and private sectors have a legal procedures of retirement. Government servants are to retire at the age of 57, but they have the option to work until the age of 60. In private sector, servants can get their employees' provident fund at the age of 55. And however, the female employees can get it for their marriage. Before retirement, the servants should make the Department of Pension aware of their retirement through the heads of institutions they are employed in. Prior to retirement, they should submit all their relevant documents and complete their files. Okay, now we are going to talk about spending their retirement truthfully. Both public and private sector servants spend their time and labor on behalf of the needs of the people in the country. Once they lose the usual duty bounded environmental in which they work for a long period of time, they are liable to face physical and mental inconveniences. Therefore, it is important to work with a pre-plan to spend one's retirement productively. They can engage in different types of activities such as engaging in hobbies, helping for family affairs, engaging in creative activities, and sharing their own experiences. Okay, our next topic is financial rights for the duties performed. Every employee is legally entitled to get a salary, and some of them are entitled to get overtime allowances for extra work done in their extra time.
Sorry for disturbing. Entitled.
Okay, teacher. Since you are given a salary for your service in an institution, it is the duty of every servant to do a service in par with the salary they obtain. Okay, now we are going to talk about steps taken by the society to safeguard children, youth, and elderly people. Every country takes measures to enhance its qualitative development. The whole society consists of children, young people, and elderly people. Several services, centers, and welfare activities are in operation to safeguard them. For example, for children, there are schools and it has free education and it gives nutrition and protection. For youth, there are professional courses and employment institutions and trade unions. For elders, there are pension assessment and welfare funds and health care.
Pension schemes.
Okay, pension schemes. Okay, in this way, several institutions and services have been established to safeguard these groups. Okay, now we are going to talk about different laws in our society and their influences to safeguard children and elders. Every society in the world follows as a system of rules and regulations to protect children and elders. As a whole, the human rights are interrelated with laws. Different countries have enacted these laws following their hereditary ways. Accordingly, they have taken several steps. They are establishing child care centers, providing education facilities, providing things totally free or at a concessionary price, and giving scholarships, providing information related to employment opportunities, providing pensions and insurance assessment for elderly people, providing health insurance.
You have to pronounce that again. Schemes.
Providing pensions and insurance schemes for elderly people, providing health insurance schemes for elderly people, providing health insurance, establishing home for elders. Okay, now we are going to talk about challenges faced by the members of a society. When we live in a society, we have to face different challenges. Challenges are obstructive situations and problems to which immediate solutions cannot be given. People encounter these challenges frequently. Following qualities and skills should be developed to face challenges successfully. They are tolerance, endurance, determination, self-confidence, bravery, creativity, forwardness, sustainability, physical and mental strength, being strategic and being practically. Students facing an examination is a challenging situation. To face such a challenge successfully, we must work systematically by finishing our studies, answering model papers, and by enhancing self-confidence. It is the most successful way to face challenges in examinations. Most of the people in the modern society face challenging situations such as competitions, complexity of society, impact of media, modern fashions, cultural degradation, deterioration of morals, increasing number of abuses, safeguarding children from harmful forces, unemployment, drawbacks in using English language, and incompatibility between educational and professional world, using new technology devices, increasing cost of living, and environmental problems. Through different types of social stratums, various challenges have emerged in this society. Okay, now we are going to talk about overcoming the challenges. There should be a specific program or a pre-plan to win a challenge. We must face challenges instead of fleeing away from them. By facing challenges, we can get strength, experience, and maturity needed for that. If you want to face challenges successfully, you must face them practically instead of rejecting, postponing, replacing them, and wasting time by thinking about them. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about the inspiring story of Wilma Rudolph. Wilma was born in Nashville Hospital in the United States of America. She was suffering from double pneumonia and scarlet fever. Her left leg was affected by polio. She was crippled. Her legs had to be supported with leg braces. It was annoying for her. Wilma strongly believed that she would be able to remove leg braces at the age of 11. She engaged herself excessively in exercises with self-confidence, disregarding medical advices and without the knowledge of her mother. After that, she removed her leg braces herself. By the age of 12, she understood that she could run, jump, and engage in sports like an ordinary child. Then she did her sports with great dedication. She won a bronze medal in Olympics held in Melbourne in 1956. There she made a strong determination to win a gold medal in the Olympics to be held in 1960. So, since she was weak in education, her family did not allow her to engage in extracurricular activities. Therefore, she went away from home, creeping through the chimney and engaged in sports practices gradually from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. with a great determination and dedication. And also, she participated in the 1960 Olympics amidst huge applause of the crowd. She had a clear vision of winning the gold medal before participating. Accordingly, she became the first American woman to win 3 golden medals in 100, 200, and 400-meter running events, holding world records. This Velma, who was a crippled girl in her childhood, became undefeatable with the support of her parents and the assistance existence of a family and few family friends. Okay, here you can see a picture of Wilma Rudolph. The story of Wilma is a fine example for the possibility of winning any challenge by working with great self-confidence and dedication. Okay, now we are going to talk about the steps to win challenges. Okay, we'll see what are they. They are building up life objectives or targets, adapt to an affordable lifestyle, and taking correct decisions, creative thinking, organizing activities with a plan, selecting different options, taking advice and directions of elders, changing all defeats into expression of life, being optimistic and self-confident in one's own work. To win any challenge successfully, it is important to develop your strength by following the above steps. Okay, now we are going to talk about obligations and responsibilities to be fulfilled for the well-being of society. Okay, now we are going to talk about, first we are going to talk about obligation. Obligations are those which people are bound to do as citizens for the existence of common society. These obligations can be divided into two as legal obligations and moral obligations. Okay, now we are going to talk about legal obligations. Examples for legal obligations: to be obligate the government, following the laws of the state, paying taxes, fulfilling duty correctly, maintaining law and order. Okay, next we are going to talk about examples of moral obligations. They are treating parents, treating and respecting elders, being self-disciplined, safeguarding traditions, respecting other religions and ethnic groups, respecting national symbols and national heroes. Okay, we are legally bound to fulfill. If we neglect them, we are liable to be punished. Therefore, for the well-being of society, the responsibility of all citizens should not ignore legal duties. Moral obligations are not legally bound and they are related to the conscience of a person. Even though we do not fulfilling these obligations, we will not be subject to any punishment, but we will be blamed and rejected by the society. Society can either give punishment or not. However, by failing fulfilling these morals and moral obligations with the lapse of time, one will be subjected to mental conditions like sadness, being fed up, unrest, and inconvenience, causing deteriorations of personal lifestyle. For example, parents look after their children by feeding, giving education, molding their future, and best owing their own properties. If the children do not look after parents in return, it is a negligence of obligation. It will deteriorate the person. Therefore, both legal and moral obligations are essential for the smooth existence of society. Okay, now we are going to talk about responsibilities. The liability to fulfill obligation is known as responsibility. As a member of a society, we have many responsibilities to fulfill. Examples: Sustainable use of public property in the society for a common benefit of people. Respecting rules and regulations of society. Contributing for the good governance of society. Thus, obligations and responsibilities are mutually interwoven. This is inseparable as the bark to the tree. The smooth existence of a society is ensured on the basis of these obligations and responsibilities. The okay, here you can see how we are fulfilling duties and responsibilities result in social welfare. Example, following rules and regulations. So by that, citizens respecting rules and regulations emerge. By that thing, people do not attempt to do misdeeds. By this thing, law-abiding citizens emerge. Thus, one's own right and the rights of others are safeguarded. Okay, now we are going to talk about emergence of a satisfied and dignified society. When one's needs are fulfilled easily, it brings a sense of convenience, since all respect each other. One feels of self-dignity, then the society functions smoothly. Okay, now we are going to talk about possibility of developing a wholesome lifestyle. When only the good things happen in a society, people build great confidence on the society. It provides all an opportunity to spend a good life. Okay, now we're going to talk about possibility of maintaining wholesome interpersonal relationships. Since obligation and responsibilities are fulfilled well, interpersonal relationships increase. It makes room for maintaining wholesome, it means good interrelationship easily. Okay guys, today we are talked about many things about our society. Do you have any problem regarding this lesson? I think no. This is the end of my lesson. Thank you all for hearing me.